Welcome to the winners interviews of this year's Inside Market Data and Inside Reference Data Awards. Now, Opensee won the category for the best risk data aggregation initiative in this year's awards. And I'm joined by Stephane, who is founder and chief executive of Opensee. Welcome, Stephane, and congratulations to you and of course to Opensee as well for this category win in this year's IMD and IOD Awards.
Thanks, Victor. And thanks for taking the time to go through Opensee.
Good. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Opensee Enterprise, which was responsible for delivering the win for the firm in this year's IMD and IOD Awards. My first question to you then, Stephane, is can you provide me with an overview of exactly what the platform does and why it and what it was designed to achieve for its users?
Yeah, of course. I guess maybe to start with, best is to take a step back and understand what people are doing with data and risk. Risk aggregation, starts with risk management, and risk management has really changed, I think, a little bit the last few years with the arrival of massive amount of data. People have wanted to go one step further than the old world, where you were computing a lot of data, producing reports in PDF format, and that's it. Now you want to really understand better the deep granular data which is at your disposal, but also all the history. And that has meant that suddenly business users, risk analysts had to do analytics on a huge amount of data, which could be for making decisions or reporting to regulators. Opensee Enterprise allows these business users to really, at lightning speed, analyze any amount of data, to aggregate along any dimension, to standardize, from the most aggregated level to the most raw data, and all that very easily with no data preparation. And I think that's really what counts today in risk management.
Okay, good. All right, so let's drill down a little bit more into Opensee Enterprise, and let's talk a little bit about what differentiates it from other risk platforms and kind of data analytics tools and platforms on the market right now, because it seems like everybody has got a data analytics tool right now in the marketplace. So what does it do differently that you believe allows its users to more accurately and transparently monitor their risk exposure?
Yeah, maybe as a high-level introduction, I think what is important to understand is that it is not just about technology. It's about understanding what you're trying to achieve and then adapt the technology. So understanding both technology, the recent, most modern technologies, and understanding the business goal is going to make the difference. Right. And I think I want to focus on three pillars where I think we're unique. First will be about the ability to do no compromise. I mean, you will talk to users, they're always about being asked, can you compromise, please? And is it okay if it doesn't go that fast? Or is it okay if you can just analyze part of your data, just today's data, not yesterday, or not go to the granularity because I'm going to prepare aggregations? Or is it okay if I spend tens of millions of hardware to make it work finally? No, we're really about this no compromise. You can combine speed, scale, and reasonable cost. The second thing is about the ability to do any type of aggregation. It's not just about doing simple aggregations like you do a pivot table, but it's also being able to implement your own metrics, your own analytics in a simple way, not in IT programs that are going to last days, weeks, months usually. We're now talking about implementation within hours. In Python, we call it calculators, and model analysts do that very easily and straightforward. That very few, if any, I think are doing that. Right. And the last point, which probably highlights again our DNA on the financial industry, is this exhaustive set of functionalities which empowers our users. And I will just list a few, but in risk management, it's always about the quality of your data. So detecting your error easily, putting a certification process, workflows. It's about doing what if I change, what is the impact on my risk of doing this and this change? And it's other kind of maybe more trivial, but certainly not covered by many of the players. FX conversion on the fly, ability to kind of create your own metadata, like I don't know, you want to aggregate on the fly, create a group which will be your G5 currency. You don't need a new column in the database. Right. Remember that again are typically done through programs and now are just part of the functionalities which are available. all these services are making our users autonomous. And again, it's a reflection of our DNA, combining this tech angle and this very business-oriented knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, so let's look back at the last 12 months. I wonder whether there have been any highlights from your perspective as chief executive, founder of the firm, but also from Opensee Enterprises' perspective as well. You know, have there been any milestones over the let's say the last 12 months that you're particularly proud of at Opensee?
Well, it's a tough question, because 12 months in the life of Opensee is a lot happening. So
right.
Let's focus maybe on a couple of topics. I mean, just on maybe Opensee as a company, maybe one number that tells it all. We have more than double in number, and I think more important than just the quantity, what I'm very proud is the quality. We have not kind of compromised. Again, it's all a word coming back on the quality of people. We're really getting top-notch people coming to the market, and top-notch people coming from the
Stephane, sorry, let me just stop you there. So that is your head count within the firm has doubled in the last year or so?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's astonishing. Yeah. Okay, good.
So that's really just the company as just one number to pick. Now to come back on the milestone, maybe of the product, of the company's business. What probably stands out is the fact that we have moved now to another level, moving some very critical, mission-critical projects into production in some of the largest banks in the world. And maybe let me name FRTB IMA project, FRTB SA, some CVA and RWA, some liquidity IRBB projects. All that we have delivered. We've delivered it in time within the business project and budget.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, having very happy clients, which it is critical for us. And I had a discussion a couple of days ago, and I think I'd like for you to mention that. It's people that initially had maybe their doubts. Does it make sense to work with a vendor? We're a big firm, we can do it ourselves. But they said, you have kind of make us realize we can work differently with vendors. You're playing in a different league, in a different class of relationship. And that's really what makes me proud, is when our clients are talking in those terms, internally to the peers, to their peers, or even to us directly.
Mm-hmm. Good. A final question to you, Stephane, and that is, you mentioned 12 months is a long time in the life of a software firm, right? So I'm not going to ask you to look forward 12 months in advance, but let's talk a little bit about the things that right now are on your radar, so to speak. What are you focusing on as a business right now, and what are you looking to deliver over the course of, let's say, the next quarter, perhaps?
Yeah, I know exactly. What is really happening these days for us is, after having delivered this kind of large range of use cases, focus on the risk. We're here about risk aggregation, but risk in general, capital market risk, liquidity risk, IRBB, we mentioned wholesale credit. Now we're getting new sets of use cases coming up around trade analytics, pre and post trade analytics, live TCA, improving the way you execute, particularly in illiquid markets, into ESG. We're bringing now what we have built in financial risk to the non-financial risk world, as data becomes more and more available, as regulators are pushing more and more to look at the granular data, and that's particularly true about climate stress testing. And maybe the last angle, so that's the new use cases, but also expanding into what we've done in the past. We are now delivering package solution, leveraging on the experience of these projects that went in production. We're now packaging it so that we are moving from months of implementation to weeks, if not days of implementation, because everything is ready, still fully customizable by the client. So you're not kind of handcuffed with a solution, a black box, but you start with something. So the day you put your data, you're ready to go. You have your FRTB calculators out. You have your ability to have your live TCA. You have your ability to manage your liquidity. And then as days pass by, maybe you're going to fine tune the solution. So that's the solution. And if you combine that now with the ability to deploy the project in a full SaaS cloud mode, if you kind of give us your data. And now we have our first clients moving there.
Yeah.
Then you're really literally live within days because the complexity of the deployment is moved away and the implementation is ready to be used. So those are really the kind of hot things happening, which are quite game changer, I would say.
Yeah, good, exciting times clearly from your perspective and Opensee. Stephane, that just leads me to thank you very much for your time. Thank you for making yourself available to chat to us today. Congratulations to you. And of course, to everybody else at the firm on this win in this year's IMD and ID Awards. And I look forward to catching up with you in the not too distant future. Thank you.
Thanks, Victor. Thanks to WatersTechnology. Thank you.